So now we got the walls all up. We're ready to set trusses. So I'm going to go ahead and lay these out. I've got them already all squared up and line them all up so I can mark my purlins every 2 foot. And I'm also going to mark where my laterals are going to go for in here on the bottom cord. Chalk a line for my F and J trim, which is the soffit trim where it gets the metal and the soffit while it's down here, and then I'm also going to put some string lines on them. All right, so we're getting ready to start setting trusses. These are just 30 foot, so I'm just going to set them without putting any boards on them because they'll stay up by themselves. If you go much more than 30, you probably should put some boards on as you go. So I'm just going to get them set real quick, and then I'll show you guys how to put the boards in and brace them and all that. So now we got all the trusses up, got them all nailed off. When you're doing the front, just make sure you get your header in before you nail your posts so they're spaced right, and then just make sure everything's level before you fasten it to the truss as far as your door stuff or any posts in there. So now we're going to go ahead and do the truss to wall bracing is what I call it, and this basically gets our sidewall straight. I've got a string on this sidewall, and then make this one straight. That one should be straight. You know, the trusses are all the same length. So we're going to go ahead and just push our string to where we need it, 2 inches, and then we're going to nail them on the wall. And I'll show you guys how to put one of these up as well. So you want to jam it into that sit it on top of that treated board, and then the best spot is to give it about an inch gap then, so I'm just going to roughly guess here. Then we're going to go ahead and check that string, see where we're at. So we're about 2 and a strong 1/8. So we're going to guess a little bit. See if that did it. Yeah. Just barely a 1/16 over 2, so we'll call that good enough. Now we're going to go ahead and put our laid offs on, the ones with marks, and get these trusses all in the right spot. And we're going to put 2 rows on the top on each side and 3 rows in the middle, the bottom there. So you mark them off every 4 foot, or 2 foot if you got 2 foot on center. And that's from the outside edge of the gable to the center of these. So the line, I got lines every 4 foot, so I'll put the line on the outside for the gable, and I'll put it on the center for the middle ones. we got all these laid offs on, a couple rows run through. We just lined it up with this gable. This gable's not solid yet, so we're not going to shoot off that end. We're going to brace this end first. So I'm going to go ahead and put my first brace here. I got it jammed back in there, back at 16 foot. And I'm going to bring it up right here. I'm going to give myself a little bit of slack just in case I got to go back a little bit. Make sure you nail these off from the inside. Don't nail them from the outside, because then you'll cut it off. You'll cut your nails off. So we'll have three jack bracings here by each post, every 8 foot so. And then we'll repeat the other side. So whatever we do here, we'll just do the same over there on that end when we get there. All right, so now we got all the trusses braced. Everything's held in place, so we pretty much can just fill these boards in. And I got them standing up right in the middle where I want them. And I'll just frame it up. And then when I get to the gable, I'll double check my gable in between those other ones and make sure it's not a little bit, if it's just get a little bit straighter. And then I'll show you guys how I put them up and how I put my fascia on as well. So I'll just go ahead and get started. So now we're going to go ahead and put on this gable fascia. I'm just going to reiterate again, if you're nailing it off, leave this last truss, the gable truss, and then just kind of side it and try to make sure it's a little bit straighter. So it was pretty good, but so I'm going to go ahead and mark this out. I'm going to give 10.5 would be, I got a foot overhang, so 10.5 with the 1.5 inch of fascia. I'm going to give myself about 1/8 of an inch more, about 10 5/8. Go to the top here. All right, I'm gonna cut that off and then nail it on the outside. All right, that's it.